I was speaking about a while ago, talking about that good friend up the woods, pretty much is going to be like kind of egging you on to be like saying, if it's throwing, catch it, pretty much on any given subject. And any side of that turkey bone that I'm talking about. So it's kind of like wrapping up an hour and keeping a good consent with that person mutually, saying, before, feet touch the ground out of bedroom sickness, anyhow way you have it, pretty much on what the things you have to like deal with in the day. So it's kind of like that good friend that's worried about wondering, due to all the types of cars people shuffle to take it back into the day, start again, pretty much on how people look when they swear up and down like it's cool, it's simple, this is just an outfit for the day. Don't look too fancy, don't have a honeymoon type attire, pretty much. All that stuff comes into play and it correlates with it matters later on. Like a good paycheck hits and it's steady, and now everybody got some type of, like some type of Jones a little bit up around, and it's due to like how time and season kicks off and it lands pretty much. Not that wall's always gonna be listening, so it kind of puts people at I need to know where you going when you coming back. Can you like sit in the house, or somebody be like, nah, because you can chant something out and you get it on, you're rumbling, and them sheets are getting pretty sweaty and hot with somebody you can send it with, or it's shiny bracelets in that green automobile, following people, stalking people, harassing people who ain't consensually said nothing. So it's a basic thing that many people look over a little bit and say, no, I'm not settling for less. No, I'm not sitting in a parking lot just minding my business. Or like I would say, it'll be like, getting up the road, and it'll be like, is this seat taken with anybody due to your district, where you at, what you used to do, what you got on, who you're dating. That it's just like making a grocery list and having it in a steady store. It's becoming a loyal customer at a steady store. It's not jumping on the boulevard, going way across town, shopping at a different company that's not a sister store. So it's moving to different stores, and it's having those same regimens. That's not just like foods that's on the Thanksgiving table. They're pleasure foods that are like not, in the summer, a treaterade, a mango tree for those too hot, summery, blistering months of the year. So it's grabbing that cool, cold, crispy monster drink. Not Celsius, not Red Bull, but them cool, hard, strong, fuzzy, chug on, recline TV and a remote, or a phone. Grab a phone case or something. It's those things that put the mind through those buffooneries around the buffooneries. And with any relationship, that's what people are dealing with on the both sides of them turkey bones. Meaning, somebody would say, as long as I don't see a ring on that hand, and they would say, as long as that hair's not too fluffed up, then that means you're not going to go see nobody. And the only thing, what moves, somebody a little bit smoother against what you got to do, whatever you got planned for your day, haha, is saying at least I can see, a weak spot. I can come in and travel in with some words, just from sitting around, you know, catching up the vapors a little bit and have my day at hand, in the end, and bother, a teenager, an adult, just because they ain't responding, just because they ain't arguing with you, starting fights with you. And the worst thing about that is, a car pulls up and it's driving to work, it's being better than they were from when you knew them or when you didn't know them. So it's kind of like, it's when people elevate, it attracts people to be like, is this seat taken, or it can be like, I'm glad to see you guys got to know each other. Or when people are talking to people on a different level, like it's not friend zoning, it's just on a more closer, intimate bond, pretty much. People start to think little by little on saying, can I be welcome into y'all little circle? You have those type of people that's like, is this seat taken? I can come in and split the bill. Where do you need me to put on some Jordans and a Mickey Mouse hat, pajamas, and a Rudolph hat on Christmas, a thong, and walking around the house with a big gulp and a monster drink and a Santa hat? Where can I go? And people act like that. So it's about you and your relationships. Who are you consensually mutual with? Not just on Facebook, in person, at school, at work, off school, walking around. But it matters when your boss want to hear that too, saying, it works better because the other people, to a boss, is just an employee, and employees is looking at a boss like it's just a boss. But employees become bosses, and they start to realize what bosses go through and stuff like that. So it kind of matters on, have a sister store, but have that aligned with going to get better without a doctor, better without hearsay family, better without acquaintance, because people won't mutually know people and what they're spiritually inclined to, but will try to bribe it, exploit it, flip it, find it to be less interesting. Find the phone, bring a friend, and call it an episode. Alright, I'm out. Find your friend.